Over the years, I have tried a lot of hacks, a ridiculous amount, an embarrassing amount, some people might say. I don't know who, but I'm sure they're out there. The truth is, part of my job is testing hacks, but in a recent video, I was mentioning how sometimes more hacks just ends up being not necessarily more helpful because it just becomes too much noise and too overwhelming and it's too much to weed through. So I thought that it might be interesting to sit down as somebody who has tried dozens, hundreds, possibly thousands of hacks over the years. Of all of the hacks that I have tried, these are the ones that I still legitimately use in my life. Let's do this. All right, we're starting with some cleaning and decluttering one. The first one is using a dish wand in the shower. This one is brilliant in my opinion. You fill up a dish wand with some cleaning agent and you just keep it in the shower. And that way when you are in the shower, or if your kids are taking a tub, you can just quickly wipe down the shower and it helps keep your shower so much cleaner. You don't have to be doing big deep cleans all the time. You might as well just clean while you're already in there and running the water.
Okay, let me teach you how to deep clean your sink drain. Your sink drains all have something called a P-trap, which is like a U-shaped bend in the plumbing that traps sewer gases, but it can get really gross. So what you're gonna start by doing is putting some really hot water down there just to loosen everything up. And then you are going to take some vinegar as well as some baking soda. Now, I know that together vinegar and baking soda just make salty water, but we're not looking for them to be a cleaning agent. We're looking for them to create a chemical reaction, which is what they do. When they combined, they foam. So you're gonna pour some baking soda down your drain. Then you are going to follow it up some vinegar. You're gonna get that foaming action. So you're gonna take like a paper towel or a rag or whatever and basically cover up the hole to the drain so that that chemical reaction is forced downward into the pipe, because that's what we want to happen. We want to loosen up any of the junk down in that gross, disgusting P-trap. So basically just repeat this a couple of times until you've gone through all of the baking soda. And then if you have excess baking soda and you have a stainless steel sink like this, it works as a great micro exfoliant. So go ahead and scrub your stainless steel sink nice and clean. Like, ew, it gets out so much junk. That's so gross. And then hot water again is just gonna rinse everything out, and now your drain should be a lot cleaner. And just as some proof of this working, this is my sink before I did this. You can see that the drain is so clogged that the water actually can't drain quick enough, and this is it after. You can see the water is quickly draining. So it really works.
Okay, we are going to do a few outdoor summer patio type hacks, and this portion of the video is brought to you by Lowe's, who is cool enough to sponsor today's video. Lowe's is my personal go-to for a lot of my outdoor and summer and patio type destination stuff, or just like any of my hardware or home improvement needs. So let's start with these planters I got from Lowe's, and I'm poking out the built-in drainage holes, and then I'm using these to create some small vegetable and herb gardens for our patio. I love container gardens like this because they're very low effort, but you still get the benefit of your own grown produce. I got peppers and tomato plants at Lowe's, as well as a bunch of herbs. And one hack I love is adding worm castings for my container vegetables. It is nutrient rich, helps fight disease, it boosts the soil's structure, and it naturally balances acidic oil. It's such an easy win, especially if you don't have a green thumb like me, to just ensure that your veggies are a little bit healthier. And yes, worm castings is just essentially worm poop, but it is what it is, okay? If it works, it works. Also on that note, I opt for plastic planters. These ones are made of recyclable plastic, and overall they're just way easier to maintain than some of the stone or ceramic ones. My last hack in this portion is to grab some solar lights like these. They have built-in stakes so you can put them in the ground, but I actually use them without the stakes and zip tie them onto my deck. This adds instant illumination on the deck, and I love how it gives the look of like a built-in light in my deck. It is super budget friendly or even renter friendly. Thanks again to Lowe's for sponsoring this portion of the video. Lowe's is a go-to destination for all of the summer and trending items that you might need. You can check out the link in my description box down below for all of the products that I featured in this segment. Next up is keeping a basket in an accessible place in your kitchen with rags. I like to use like dish rags when I'm doing cleaning throughout the kitchen or whatever, just to minimize how much paper towels I'm using. But I have found that if they are not as accessible and convenient as paper towels, I still will in a rush grab paper towels. So you need to have them in a place that's just as convenient. So I keep a basket hanging right in the kitchen, and on top of that, keeping a laundry hamper in your kitchen. I feel like nobody really talks about this all that often, but it makes so much sense, especially as a mom. There is so much mess that happens in the kitchen. In our current house, we have a hamper like just in the stairwell that like comes off of the kitchen. In our old house, we had one hanging on the back of the door that went to the basement in the kitchen. A decluttering hack, I've seen this one go around a lot, and once you try it, it actually is quite helpful. And this is when you hang all of your clothes up in your closet, start by putting all of the hangers on backwards. And then as you wear things and put them back again, you put the hangers on the proper way. This will give you at a really quick glance the clothes that you have not been wearing and make it a lot easier for you to declutter your wardrobe. Using the pre-wash on my washing machine. I have a whole video that I will link down below all about the proper way to use your washing machine, because it turns out I did not know how, and I learned a bunch of stuff about how to make your washing machine work better, and so now I know. And one of the best things that I learned in that was using the pre-wash option. So your washing machine and your dishwasher both do sort of a similar thing. What they're gonna do is fill with water and rinse what's in there. Then that's gonna drain out. Then they're gonna fill with water again and then release the soap, whether it's your washing machine or it's your dishwasher. For dishes that are extra dirty or clothes that are extra dirty, doing a pre-wash helps to get those so much cleaner. So in a washing machine, you have a little pre-wash area, and you can put some extra detergent in there and make sure to click on the pre-wash on your washing machine. Dishwashers, some dishwashers have pre-wash, some don't, but if they don't, it doesn't really matter, because the main idea is just that some soap is getting added into that first initial rinse. So you can just add a little bit of soap right into the dishwasher drum, and then you still want to add soap to like the normal spot where the soap comes out. Pre-washing your clothes and your dishes makes them come out so much cleaner. Another hack that I love is turn your tap water onto hot and let it run until the actual tap gets hot before you turn your dishwasher on. Your dishwasher is going to fill up with that first rinse cycle if your water is not already hot, because most of us, when we turn on our tap water, it takes a minute for the water to get hot. If it's not already hot, it's gonna fill with cold water. And cold water to rinse dirty dishes, we all know, is not as effective as hot water. Oh, speaking of dishwashers and washing machines, I learned how to clean the filters on both of these from online hacks. So a dishwasher, you probably have a filter like down in the bottom of your dishwasher. You should probably be cleaning that like once a month. It gets kind of gross. Your washing machine one, I only do this, I don't know, 6 to 12 months, but this one, depending on what kind of washing machine you have, if it's a front loading one, it's in the front and you kind of can pull it out and all sorts of gross, disgusting smelling water is going to come out, and then you can rinse it clean and get it clean, and then your washing machine will clean better. Using floor cleaning items like floor Swiffers and floor mops to clean vertical surfaces, so like your walls and your cabinets. So I learned this one first for cleaning kitchen cabinets. I saw a hack, I think like on TikTok, and it was to use your oat cedar mop, wring it out really well, and then use it to clean like your cabinets in your kitchen. And I was like, wait, this is so brilliant. And then I saw some people who would use dry Swiffer dusters to just like do walls and get up in the corners where like cobwebs and dust bunnies go. And it makes so much sense, because if you think about a wall, it's basically a floor, but it's just vertical. And this has made cleaning those areas so much easier for me. Moving on to some organization ones, labeling where everything goes, specifically in your pantry, but just in general. I have found that labeling just is highly effective. I've talked about this in a lot of videos. It creates a shortcut in your brain, and I've talked about like the actual science behind this. Labeling when organizing helps your brain create strong visual cues and associations. Studies in cognitive psychology show that visual labeling reduces the cognitive load, meaning your brain doesn't have to work as hard to remember where things go. It taps into your brain's preference for patterns and categorization. So I even go as far as labeling like the bin and the place where a bin might go. It just is one less thing for my brain to think about, and it is a mental shortcut. And I'm telling you, labels help keep things organized so much better. Okay, this next hack is how to fold in like a snack box or a cereal box. I learned this one years ago and literally still use it every time I have any type of cereal box, any of these snack type boxes. So obviously they all have the little tab to close, but we know the tab never works. It's always like broken, never stays closed. So instead what you want to do, you fold in 3 of the like top side tabs, and then from the short ends you can sort of push these in, and it sort of folds up into like, you make the top 2 long pieces come together, and then you take that final long end and you can kind of tuck it in as one big long tab. And this is the proper way to keep all of your pantry boxes closed. Spa rolling towels. This is a hack that I learned online, and now it's a ride or die. I live by it. I love it for towels when my kids are going to the pool, if we're going to the beach, depending on where I need to store the towels, because basically it's a way that you can roll up your towel and then it lives in a nice compact little like carrying case, unlike towels that are usually like falling all over the place, which is why I especially like it for like going to the beach and the pool, but it can be very helpful for storing on vertical shelves as well. Taking all of my kids' games and like puzzles out of boxes. All of the boxes are different shapes, they're different sizes. Eventually the corners are gonna break off and one piece is gonna be broken, and they're never going to stack or store well. By decanting them all into bags, you can then store them so much easier and more cohesively. You can file store them in large utility bins, but it just makes it so much easier. If you want to vertically store, instead of putting them into bags, you could put them into like flip top containers. I love the ones from Dollar Tree, but they have bigger like letter sized ones that you can get on Amazon as well. I'll link those down below. And this would allow you to then just label them and store them all vertically as well, but take them out of the boxes that they come in because they are just not cohesive in shape and size, and you will never be able to organize them well. Storing things hanging in my closet that aren't just clothes. So two of my go-tos is I have my jewelry hanger that hangs in my closet with my clothes. This is just such an easy place for it to be stored. It's so easy to take my jewelry in and out. I used to have a bag, and then at one time I had a little jewelry box, but I don't know, something about it took me longer. Like I would forget to put it away. It was like just something about unzipping the bag. The other thing that I store is actually my leggings. I got this legging holder, probably from Amazon. Leggings don't store in drawers well. They don't really stack up nice, so I just hang them all on this little thing. It just works better. Back of the door organization. I have utilized backs of doors for so many things, all of the things. I have used every which way. I've put laundry hampers on them. I use them to store like overstocked tote bags for my kids. I have one in the back of my bathroom door that's like my kids' bathroom for like diapers and changes of clothes and wipes and all of that sort of stuff. Back of the doors for organizing is where it's at. I feel like I talk about shelf risers in every organization video, but I love them. It makes use of vertical space, especially if you have a challenging cabinet or cupboard, especially if you're renting or you don't have the money to update the cabinets that you have. By adding a shelf riser, you essentially are adding a whole nother shelf, and you can make so much more use of vertical space in your cabinets or cupboards. Is there a difference between a cabinet and a cupboard?
One of life's great unanswerable questions.
Let's Google it. A cabinet can be built-in furniture piece in the kitchen or bathroom that is usually mounted to a wall. A cupboard is typically a larger cabinet or small storage space that stands on its own. Oh. Well, I was 2 years old when I learned that. Still applies for the shelf risers. This fold-out tray that I use on my bathroom vanity, if you have a small vanity where you get ready, for some reason, I get ready in our downstairs, like tiniest little guest bathroom, like it's a half bath, and it's got the tiniest little vanity. This allows me to put all my stuff out, my hair stuff or my makeup, and get ready and then just fold it up and store it. Just one of those like silly products that you bought and then you're like, wow, this is making my life better. Okay, some kitchen hacks. One, peeling a mango with a vegetable peeler before slicing it. I have a child that loves mangoes. I hate cutting mangoes. I mean, can we agree it's one of the worst fruits to cut? Along with a cherry, unless you have a cherry pitter, which I don't have. Anyways, I digress. If you peel the mango first, then you can just slice the, people call it the flesh, like the fruit's flesh. Gotta be a better word than that, but whatever. You can slice the mango easier. Also, on that note, butternut squash, vegetable peel, the peel off first. Then you can just slice it, dice it, cook it. You're welcome. This parchment paper trick, I have talked about this one in a few videos. It never like sits in there right? It's always like popping out, and you can like cut the corners and try to get it to stick, but that's a big pain in the butt. This woman in this hack was like, your parchment paper is just parched. It is parched paper, and if you get it wet, then it'll do whatever you want. And so I got the parchment paper wet, which seems wrong, but it is right. You get it wet, you can wring out almost all of the water. There's like no moisture left. And then it will just sit in any pan that you need it to. It's absolutely brilliant. And I've been using this for probably 2 years now. Has not affected any of my baking. Like somebody's gonna be like, the moisture is gonna change it. It doesn't. I've done like bread and baked goods and whatever. It doesn't. I have these corner shelves that are like, they're supposed to go into the corner of a cabinet and then you can store stuff. I actually turn these on their side, and these work great in cabinets for storing like cake pans and bread tins and that sort of stuff. So like just turning them vertical and using them that way instead. We're gonna end with a few random mom hacks. I mean, I could go on forever about mom hacks. The first one is how to store a baby wrap. If you use these like me, I love them. I think they're so snuggly, but storing them is a big pain in the butt because it's like this big swath of fabric. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the wrap and wrap it around your wrist, and then you're going to reach down and grab the length of it and pull it up, and then you can sort of just pull each section through. You're just gonna like repeat that process. You're gonna pull that through, kind of like braids it almost in a way, and then it's way easier to store it. Next up, these squeeze pouch tops. Learned about these online, been using them since my first. They are a go-to. They go on to basically any pouch, topper, applesauce pouch, yogurt pouch, whatever, and they don't allow the child to just squeeze and all the pouch to come out, because we've all done that. That's not fun. Nobody wants that. It requires that the child bite down on it slightly in order for the puree or like pouch filling to come out. Hanging your bibs on the back of your child's high chair. Okay, this is the way to do it, because we've all put our child in the high chair. They're so excited. They're about to eat. Oh no, where's the bib? It's too late. The food is everywhere. If you hang your bibs just on the back of the high chair, then it is ready for you right when you need it. And if you're just like rinsing them off in the sink, it's the perfect place for them to drip dry as well. Okay, this next one is not a hack I actually learned online. It's just one of my own hacks, and I'm sharing it with you. Keep your kids' socks downstairs where you store their shoes. Trust me, it is so much easier. Also, I don't know at what age this ends because my oldest is only 6, but keep changes of clothes for your kids downstairs as well. So much, I mean, maybe if you don't have 2 stories, but even if you have a bigger house, you know, where like you gotta go all the way down to the bedroom, I don't know. All right, that does it for this video. Some of the hacks that I've tried over the years that I'm still using like day to day, all of the time. My ride or dies, if you will. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.